Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
We're so pleased to have on the show two of the lead people, obviously the lead people, in Always Loretta, the ultimate Loretta tribute show. I've got Emily Portman and Dave Thornhill. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
You know, it's like I've known both of you through the years, obviously from back when you were with the Conway Twitty musical.
Yeah.
And did such an incredible job, Emily.
Thank you.
And then Dave, 55 years with Loretta Lynn
Yes.
and the Coalminers.
Yes.
That's a good start.
I'd say I got a career.
So how did this whole concept come about for Always Loretta? Because I just, when I saw the flyer, I thought, what a great concept and what an incredible voice to have front this.
Well, the Coalminers decided about a year ago to have a jam session to get all the old guys back together and
Yeah.
just play some music. And I invited a bunch of people to sing and play with us. It's played down through the years with the Coalminers. And I thought about Emily because I'd seen her on YouTube doing Loretta, and I said it'd be great to have Emily here, and we'll just do what we knew best. And so I called Emily, and she jumped right on it, and she was right there. And so she had about 5 of Loretta's top songs, and we played them just like we did for Loretta. And Emily and I got to talk, and you said, you know what, we may ought to try this. Maybe other people would like it.
Obviously they do. And I mean, you're selling out shows. You kick this off at the Troubadour. How do you choose the songs? I mean, with a catalog like that, Emily, and you've got such an incredible voice to be able to handle Loretta's catalog. Yeah. How do you guys pick them?
It's not easy. There's a lot of good songs that people aren't used to hearing on the radio. Like Dave said, they're album cuts that's not been, but we've put several of those on, and the audience they enjoy them. We have a good response to those songs. We've taken a few out and added a few in here and there, so now, we switch them up.
I got to ask you this too, because obviously the tour is going to go all across the country, and I think it's going to be selling out shows everywhere it goes. That's my prediction. And so, will you change up the songs some as you're traveling?
What we'll probably do, it depends on the venue. Some of them want a 55-minute show, some will want a 2-hour show. So we've got enough to cover everything that they want.
Right.
But we will leave Loretta's biggest hits in every show.
Well, you know, and besides having the Coalminers backing you up, let's talk costumes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do on this? Because, I mean, you did such a great job with the Conway Twitty musical and your previous work and everything, and you shared the stage with George Jones. You've been on the Opry. You've been on the Ryman. You've opened for T. Graham Brown. It's like things are going well, and now you've got this lead role. And, I mean, everybody misses Loretta Lynn so much after passing away not long ago. But I think we all agree the music needs to stay alive, and particularly when you have the band, the Coalminers.
It does. I think God's got his hand in this.
Right.
So costume-wise, I'm going to plan on wearing gowns, just like Loretta did. The gown I happened to use in the Conway show was given to me years prior, and I think the person got it for $4 at a thrift shop. But you know, you can't find those gunny sack dresses like she wore very easily these days.
Right.
So we're working on, I'm working on just finding things. I've got a dressmaker, a lady that's helping me make some new things, and then I've got some old things that might adjust here and there. So we're trying to look the part of Loretta and sound the part and just act in her, way. And when we bring the songs on, I tell the stories just like she would. Sometimes Dave will tell a story.
Oh,
so
how great is that?
Yeah.
I just love it because it's part of the whole experience, and like we said, keeping the music alive, and it's kind of like you've come full circle on this. I mean, starting out at piano at 12, and then going on to baritone, and then singing, and then next thing you know, you're performing a Loretta Lynn song at the Grayson County Fair, and then at the Kentucky Opry, you win.
Yeah, and then it's like I was 19 years old before I ever sang in a microphone in front of anybody. And then when I was 30 years old, I was singing at the Grand Ole Opry. So it's like, wow. I know. And now I'm sitting here with Dave Thornhill on TV, getting ready to do some shows. So
well, we were joking, before we came in studio too, that it felt odd to you, having Dave Thornhill drive you around, and then Dave's like, I drove Loretta around for years.
I know, it's crazy, but her spirit is definitely with us. I mean, she told me years ago, we've got a real connection, and it's just stuck with me. And I just feel like I said, God has got his hand in it, and I think Loretta has her hand in it. So.
I agree. Well, and also, just so everybody knows as well, the family is fully supportive of this, the estate, and you were friends with Loretta Lynn as well. And so having that kind of support, I got to ask you this, Dave, it's you guys got to dust off the equipment. It's not just a jam session. You're back on tour.
That's right.
Are the Coalminers ready?
Oh, yes. Everybody's up in arms about it. And I told Emily, I said, we don't have to rehearse. It's burned into our brains,
right.
So we just like fall off a log, just play Loretta's music like we did 40 years ago.
Does it feel like back home again, Dave?
It does. After I retired from Loretta the first time, I went into deputy sheriff work, and I spent 16 years as a deputy sheriff.
Wow. And
then I retired, and then we had our jam session. That started all over again. So
once you got music in your blood, you can't get it out.
that's true.
And I mean, you've done such an incredible job playing over the years, Dave. I remember watching you play on the TV shows and everything, backing up Loretta.
Yeah.
And so I got to ask you, obviously, I'm going to ask you this question. Any new music gear or guitars? Because, are you just bringing out the original equipment, or what are we doing?
Hey, you know what? I'm using the same amp that I used with Loretta. I bought it new in '66, and I still have it, and it's a very valuable piece of equipment today.
Right.
But I used it on the road with Loretta when I first went to work with her.
Wow. And there are new guitar strings on the guitar, though, right?
Well, I keep that up. Yes.
And I gave you a new capo, so
yeah, that's right. I may have to play a capo song.
Just in case, right? Well, I'll tell you what, it's so exciting, and I know with the tour going across the country, and there's rumors about it, even going further this year, but I have a feeling this is going to sell out shows everywhere. Your voice is amazing, obviously, Dave, with you and the Coalminers. What an incredible band, and to be able to hold that nucleus together, it does Loretta Lynn justice.
That's what we want to do. We all loved her tremendously.
Well, and as you mentioned too, Dave, the last time you guys went out on tour together like this was 2017.
Yeah.
And you never forget seeing Loretta.
No.
And like I mentioned too, on obviously at the Opry, but all the TV shows and everything. What an exciting time!
Yeah.
What a great time to bring this music back home, because I think, to me, as a fan of it, we need this kind of music now.
We do.
And to keep Loretta's music fresh and going out on tour, and the audiences are just going to love it and be in touch, and they're going to remember why she was a legend in country music and continues to be.
Exactly.
So, I want to make sure for our viewers that they know, and also I've got to bring this up. Now, you had a CD that came out about 2009, and you may be working on some other original music too, but at the shows, they may have your CD out there, right?
I think so.
Okay.
They might, yeah.
And maybe some other merch. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, I'm hoping for that.
Like
yeah.
with an Always Loretta t-shirt or something. Just
or the
kinda-
Coalminers.
Yeah, the Coalminers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a new sweatshirt that Emily bought for all the guys with our Coalminers logo and the Coalminers across
You
the
got to
front.
offer those up to
it's-
fans.
Well, they're
A lot of
awesome.
people want them.
How amazing is that?
Yeah.
Well, I want to make sure our viewers know for tickets, and also to know when you're coming to their town and everything else that you got going. What is the best website for them to go to, Emily?
So the best website to look at is alwaysloretta.com, and you can also look at our Facebook page, Always Loretta, and it's going to have updates for all the upcoming shows, which are announced as we get them. And you can get tickets for our Nashville debut at the Troubadour Theater March 21st at 7 o'clock. And you can get tickets by going to alwaysloretta.tickets@gmail.com.
And I'll tell you what, they're going to be selling out fast, so you want to make sure, get your tickets early. And if you want to take some friends and family, which I highly recommend as well, I think this is going to be a great family show. An incredible voice with Emily Portman. Obviously, one of the best bands on the planet with the Coalminers, led by Dave Thornhill. You can't beat it. It's a combination made in heaven. It is Always Loretta, the ultimate Loretta Lynn tribute. You want to go see these guys and the entire band live. Thanks for joining me on the show.
Thank you, Eric.
You're very well.
Thank you all.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.